speed to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. The moonlight, summer sky, it was the best we ever had. And we'll stay on forever. We'll never have regrets. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Hello. Good afternoon. From the European continent, I have a little issue with my YouTube, I see, because apparently the live chat seems to be translated, which is not really handy dandy. That means that somehow YouTube has decided that all of your comments are being translated from English to Danish, which means I need to translate them back if I want to read them. That is not so cool. So please give me a minute to see if I can actually figure that out, because it is rather annoying. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Rev. Good afternoon to European continent. Indeed, good afternoon. Good morning, Jessica. Lovely to see you. Good morning and hello, Susan. And indeed, hope everybody is doing well. Good afternoon, Hella. And Jessica says she's just about getting over a cold. I definitely hope you're doing better. And good morning, Megan. Oh, it's wonderful to see you all. I wonder what's up with my YouTube chat being translated to Danish. I really need that gone. YouTube was based on default language, based on says on. By adjusting your primary languages in my Google account. Okay. Wonderful. That's related to my Google account. Who would have known? Oh, I'm just going to see if that's actually going to work. because I am going nuts, to be honest. So where should I find that is the big question. Primary language. How to, please. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Tap the pencil. There is no freaking pencil. Sorry. This appears to be, well, preferred language will generally. Well, I guess we are gonna be English then. If you're really gonna be this ridiculous. Then that's what we'll do. Hopefully this fixes. I've never had this issue before, so I am surprised. And still, no. Or maybe because I am, maybe it needs it from another end. Oh, but do. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just can't deal with really this kind of yardly automatically translation. No, it still automatically translates. That's not fixing it. What is this for buttocks? It's gonna be a long day, ladies and gentlemen, if I am going to have to read all this in standard. Oh my goodness. That is that's the uncoolest thing that Google has ever made. If this is really theirs fault, let's see. No. Do we have like a settings for this? No. Not really. Like, it is really, really inconvenient if I am to hoover my mouth to be able to read your comments. I wonder what's going on here. I really do. Anyhow, it's been a really, really busy few days for me. I can tell you for sure. Oh, there might be something here. Thank you, Ref. I am going to check. Yes, that's my issue. Message only translated on the creator's device. View as memory, see original message, fill the message in the original and tap on the translate message at any time. Turn off the automatic translate by tapping settings. Oh, I can do that. Can I do that here? But there is no gear. Yeah, here there is. Let's see. Maybe. The only information I get there. Features currently available for mobile live streams. Ah, it's not even a mobile live stream. But yeah, that is kind of what's happening. Exactly that issue. To find the message, tap on the translate. To turn it off, tap settings, then toggle automatically translate job. But which settings? Because if I tap into these settings, I have only settings for ads. So that's not exactly useful. Right now. That is not fixing it. And if I go to settings on my backend, Maybe advanced settings. Automatic. No. I changed no settings. That's the weird thing about this. That is the weird thing. So while it's a great thingy, it doesn't seem to provide me with a real thingy. Go to Stream Settings tab, locate the video box, and click Edit Customization Live Chat. It will. Aha. Go to the live control room. Yes. Then it says on the Stream Settings tab, locate the video details box. Here, I think I might have found something. No. Well, not what I need, at least. That's more like starting stuff. Let's see, I do have some more stuff here. I need to check again here. So we are set correct. Because I changed nothing from the last one, so that's so weird, right? I just copy pasted it. That's for any case true. Adaptation. Oh, here. Translation of live chat. No, thank you. And then maybe I need to refresh this one. Let's see. Hallelujah! I'm fixed. I feel so much better. Now we can do business. I do apologize for this mess. I do apologize so very much. Apparently, it's just, I don't know. It's welcome to the end of May. We have 2 streams left this month, and I still feel wrecked after last weekend, but I had a good time. I guess that's most important. Also, it is boiling hot here, except for that Nightbot does not completely agree with me. That is because it is partly cloudy. I do agree with that. It says it's about 24 degrees Celsius or 75 degrees Fahrenheit. It does feel like summer, but you know what? Yesterday it was in the 80s, and so was the day before, and it's basically been like that since Friday. And the whole house is kind of like feeling a warm. I did air out earlier this morning when it was colder outside than it was indoor. Now we're a bit so like even. And funnily enough, I'm still wearing long sleeves, but I definitely didn't do that earlier this day. So maybe it is indeed cooling down. It should be a little bit okay again tomorrow, and then boom, we're back into the end 80s, begin 90s Friday, and we're gonna get thunderstorms and all sorts of funny, fancy things. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's been a great few days, except I have done 0 crocheting, like 0. As Rose says, love it when you tech company adds new features nobody asked for and then turn it on and hide the options to turn it off. Exactly. Well, I kind of found it. I just didn't think about the logic of it because it's automatically turned on if you copy the settings from an old stream. And that's basically just what I do. I just copy the basic settings because then I don't need to tick off all the buttons all again, what I want to have allowed and what not, and so on. So I just basically copy the last stream I did, but last stream did not have this. So they added this to my account and ticked it automatically since last week, Wednesday. Thank you, YouTube. Love you guys too. Next time, please give me a heads up warning. So I know, like, would you like this feature installed? Bing! Don't forget to check this box. That would be so much better and so much less frustrating. The weather in Quebec right now is cloudy with a temperature of 49 degrees Fahrenheit, so about 9 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from north-northwest at 4 miles per hour, and the humidity is 95. It is indeed cloudy. Let's see. So, we kind of came to a conclusion last time around, and that means that I am going to work on the hat collector shawl, and the reason for that is very simple. Um, I have a deadline. If I want to have this finished in the month of June, I need to get my shoes up burning, so to say, because well, I need to get worked on it. I still have like 2/3 left or something like that to go, at least stitch wise. Oh no, thank you. Jessica has gifted a membership, and the lucky recipient is La Banana Crochet. So, of course, we are going to have a little party. Thank you so much. It is so much appreciated. Oh, and a super chat to go on top. So we have another party. I get all like dip 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 dip. So let's get back to what I wanted to say, the hat collector. So a few things did happen since Wednesday. I started working on it, and I was starting on the next row. And guess what? So remember, we started working on it. We frocked it back, we fixed it, and then we left the live. That happened Wednesday. Then when I wanted to work on it, I don't know if it was Wednesday evening or if it was Thursday. I don't remember anymore. But last week, and I started working on the next row, I realized I had too few stitches. I was like, why do I have too few stitches? Guess what? All of the edit we did and all of the work we did after we had frocked it, I forgot 2 stitches on each tip. So Stine frocked again, and now she is still a little bit left from finishing that row that she frocked, because I forgot 2 stitches in every tip. That's a lot of stitches, my friends. Of course, I know that I would love it to have fewer stitches because I will go so much quicker, but then it's not going to turn out into the hat collector shawl, isn't it? So, well, I frogged, and here we are. We are kind of ready to process again. And no matter what happens, I am not going to speed anything because I don't know how to frog this baby anymore. So we're just going to see how far we are going to get on today's stream. That is going to be today's agreement here. I hope that Banana Crochet gets to pop in with us at some stage. It could also be so. Of course, I do stream mainly in the EU afternoon, which means that sometimes not everybody are so lucky to be able to be around, because I am aware that there are people that are working on these hours. So what I am gonna do is I am gonna find my dual camera view here, like that. And then I am going to put you guys down, like that. So here on the top of every tip in this row, I'm doing 2 double crochets, chain 2 double crochets into each chain space. And what I had done when we were like fixing whatever I had frogged was I was only doing 1 single crochet, 2 double crochet, 2 chains, and then 1 single crochet. But I'm supposed to do 2, and therefore I was missing a stitch here on every. I missed 2 stitches on every tip. So I have already frogged it. I have started progressing on catching up of what I frogged again, but I mean, I just need to pay attention, and that's what I didn't do. And it's because every row really is different. So maybe Stina just needs to really pay attention when she's working on this. So outside of that, it is just a chain and a double crochet, like skip stitch, double crochet, chain, skip, etc. But again, then here down the bottoms, that's where we had extra, because I frocked first time. We don't have a chain in between, we just skip the 2 stitches, right? So, oh my goodness. Apparently, I have gotten really poor at paying attention. That is kind of like the bottom line of this. So we are going to do a rinse and repeat. Ah, my goodness. Welcome to life. Welcome to reality. So yeah, as I said, I had a great weekend and a great few days in Belgium, but I really did not reach the crochet at all. I brought it with me every day to the place where the event was held, but honestly, there was just not any moment where I could really sit down and do anything and just relax. There was constantly something going on. And I mean, yeah, it was just not meant to be. It was just not meant to be at all, whatsoever. And that's fine. If I did tell you guys in the Yarn Talk video that I was going to bring projects for making bucket hats. So I had brought the yarns with me, but I was also aware that there was a chance that I wouldn't do anything at all. And here we are. That was the end result. It's been a little bit like, when you bring the umbrella, it doesn't rain. But if you forget the umbrella, it will rain. That kind of feeling. I knew I was going to bring it. And because if I didn't bring it and I would have had time, I would have been annoyed. But I did bring it. So, of course, I didn't get time to do anything. The sad truth. Who knows? Maybe in the future. So, yeah, I frocked it all back up. And here we are catching up again. And hopefully, this time around, it will be correct. So, what have you guys been up to? And I should say, just before you guys get totally shocked, I don't have a tea next to me today. I just have a lemonade because it has been warm, which again is a bit crazy me sitting here than in a long sleeved shirt, but it's a choice. It's an intentional choice because I can always undress when it gets too warm. But I don't have the blanket around me. I don't have warm shoes on. In fact, I am sitting here in my slippers. I did have shorts on this morning, and I decided to change into my trousers because it was just, well, if I would have been outside in the sun, I would have preferred the shorts, but here indoors in the shade, it's just like on the edge of being too chill for me to wear shorts. So I changed my mind. But yeah. Da, da, da. So we are gonna see how far we get working on this. But the bottom end gold here is most definitely just see how far we'll get. No rush, no nothing. We probably won't finish the second one. One, two. If I will be doing Cal, which person's Cal, or if I will be hosting a Cal. because then I would need to skip designing, I guess, if I would be doing a cowl. I generally haven't done them because they tend to not fit. They tend to run when it doesn't fit into my personal schedule and agenda. Could be fun to do one at some stage. One, two. Not sure. It would be fun. Yeah. So I've done a make along before. Somebody hosted a make along. The Disley sisters. They're a couple of British sisters who both knit and crochet. And I think from when the make along started until we had to hand in photos of the finished project was like 10 weeks. And what was really nice about this was we could decide ourselves what we wanted to make, as long as it was like a scarf or a shawl or something along those lines. But we could decide on the pattern completely ourselves. And I had some yarns laying for the jasmine tea shawl back then, and I ended up making that for the make along because I wanted to make the jasmine tea shawl regardless. And then I just had the opportunity to combine that with something I wanted to make already. And they did have some nice prices, like they did have a few prices as well for the make alongs. Like one of them had a project bag and stuff like that. Those I like. Project bags are nice, but I mean the make alongs where you have a little bit of freedom to choose, that makes more sense for me. But you couldn't have started the project when the make along started. You had to first start the project when it was announced or after, and you needed to finish it before the finishing date if you wanted to partake in the draw of the prizes. Meanwhile, Revs AC finished Juan's Stitch Odyssey, and we all know that you have been busy for a fair bit on that. So let's pop over. Here we go. I still feel a little bit rough, but that's my honest opinion, that this pink you used does not define the gorgeous stitches well enough, because the color itself is so bright that it takes the attentions rather than the stitches. But that could very well also just be related to the angle of the photo. But I recall we spoke about that in the past as well, where I was like, I don't feel that the color does the stitches justice, if that makes sense. Because the rest of the stitches has much nicer definition compared to, so I think it's the color rather than anything else. Lovely mix of colors and great definition further, definitely. If I could go back, I would reverse the scarlet and the purple, but in real life you can't see the cables well enough. Okay, that's nice to know at least. I think we've all had projects where if we would have known the end result, we would have changed something at some stage, if that makes sense. I think we all have one of those projects. I would be surprised otherwise. But yes, there are definitely beautiful stitch definitions in that blanket. Hey, good morning, Lisa. Welcome to the live. Great to have you here, lady. As I just told all other ladies and gentlemen, I have frogged back again on the hat collectors. What we fixed Wednesday apparently wasn't fixed. I made it worse because I forgot stitches instead of adding stitches. I forgot stitches. About 40, 50 pieces or so. Ish. Probably closer to 50 than to 40. That was kind of embarrassing. So when I was starting on the next round, I was keeping bumping into the issue that was called I don't have enough stitches. Why don't I have enough stitches? That was all right just before until I realized all the issues with the added stitches. And I was like, until I realized, I was like, oh no, you gotta be kidding me. And then I frogged everything we had made after we had frogged it Wednesday. And here we are, back to not to ground zero, but we're sort of getting there. So I learned that apparently I have been really poor at paying attention last week, but I guess there was just many things going on, which definitely is valid. Yeah. I'm so surprised how time has been flying lately as well. And Lisa kindly says, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Lisa. Likes are much appreciated. My end says that we haven't had barely enough likes compared to the amount of people watching. Genuinely, the end goal should be to have more likes than to have had max viewers. 2, 4, yeah, that's good. Hello, Laureen. Great to see you. Great to see you here with us. It wasn't until I was about 6,000 stitches into the scarlet that I realized that the color was not showing the cable as much as I would have liked. At that point, I was not pulling back. Also, the thing difference is probably I might have considered frocking it just to fix that. That's the scary part. Lisa says I frogged out the whole shawl I was knitting and restarted with a different yarn too. Oh, so we've just been like a froggy weekend world for us, like the past 6-7 days or so. Except I haven't done anything of crocheting related sorts since Thursday, like last week. Yesterday I didn't reach to do anything either. I was just basically wrecked, catching up on sleep, and then we had to do stuff. And in the evening we did have some social TV time, but I just couldn't grab my head around attempting to crochet at the same time. I just wanted to do nothing. I was really, really tired in my mind. So yeah, I did 0 crocheting for like 5 days, which is definitely a weird thing for me to not do. Lorraine is asking if she can use a half double for her blanket. Technically you could, yeah, why not? And indeed you can do whatever you like. Rev says that he's done it past and it comes out very pretty. Ah, you found the most expensive ball of yarn in the action. Well, yeah. Trust me, there are more expensive yarns out there than the action. Woohoo. Like some of those hand-painted yarns. My goodness. It's a little bit like me want when I see them. Yeah, well, just feel just follow the feeling. And that's what I'm kind of liking about crochet. There is a lot of no rights, no wrong. So it does give freedom, creative freedom. Rev made a blanket in half doubles, so I'm gonna be so kind and share. We'll pop over here. This is a queen size bed blanket made with loops and threads in Northern Lights, half double crochet stitch. It did take a couple of weeks. Well, I can imagine giving it a queen size bedspread. My goodness. I mean, it takes a while to make, so it's a bit like, how long did this shawl take you, Stina? Well, we started at the middle of or end of February or something like that, so we have kind of been going on for what now? March, April, May, 3.5 months. Okay, I've done other things in between as well, so that should not be blamed for my activity level. Yeah, she did. I saw. Which means that I should go ahead and bookmark it on Ravelry for my purchase needs. It'll be 1 meter 60 wide and 1 meter 80 long. That is also going to be a big one. The only thing is when you do half doubles, I guess, well, a little bit better than singles, but not much. They get quite heavy compared to if it was just doubles. Rev used a 506 weight yarn with an 8mm hook for his project. Doubles are too hard with this yarn. I don't know if maybe singles would be better than maybe not. Don't think that makes a big difference, to be honest. Really want to start the shawl you're working on. I think I have it saved in Ravelry. I did not save it. Jessica, I linked to the pattern in the description box down below, so you can click to the link and you should be taken to Ravelry. And then I don't know if you bought it or not, but it's a paid pattern. I will have to be very fair about that. But yeah, she released a new pattern, Ines, which makes me like, I want to get I want to get it. But you also know that in 320 subscribers time, I will be gifting a pattern away on Ravelry. So I would say if you haven't yet, then it's probably time for you to get your friends to like and subscribe. Because I decided that when we hit 2,000 subscribers here on the channel, that I will be gifting away a free pattern on Ravelry to whichever in your wish list. and that will be gifted away during a live like this. So only people who's joining the live will have a chance at winning, because I will then be able to instantly, directly handle the gifting. Last time we did that was during my podiversary, and I think that went really, really well. So, yeah. Subscribe and get your friends to subscribe. We will have a party at the 2K subscribers celebration. We will be gifting away a free pattern on Ravelry. 1, 2. Oh, yes. Yes. Ines makes gorgeous shawls for sure. Lisa says she might be starting the new shawl next week, as she's probably going on a road trip. It's always good to have some project with you, isn't it? And I agree, her shawls are so pretty. So Lisa has made few of them multiple times. They're well written, and as she says, she likes both the Darjeeling and the Ceylon tea shawl. I really like the Darjeeling as well. I kind of like all of them have their quirks and interesting things. I love the fact that they're so intricate they are, and yeah, they are. It's a very good project in sense of they're well made. They look good, and I also enjoy making them. I have not made all of hers yet. That's also a goal of mine. But this shawl is a big project, and it's taking my priority right now. And after I've done with this shawl, I am likely going to start one of her shawls as my next project. I have a few other things I want to do, of course, but I could easily imagine one of her shawls popping in and wanting some of my attention. So the anime is the all-weather Yana. It's from the action. I don't know. Do they still maybe it's on their web store? I don't know. I would have to check. I don't know about Moström, who made this hat collectors, how many patterns she has on Ravelry. Ines has all of her patterns on Ravelry. You can also buy them on her Etsy, I believe. Pom pom yarn is held. Yes, I would not touch pom pom yarns either with an inch of a knife. So how was it with this row? I believe that I had to do 2 and then 3 double crochets. But, oh my goodness. And apparently I'm still tired after the past escapades, which, well, no surprise. Indeed, I remembered correct. Now, let's hope when we start on the next row that I actually did this correct this time. I would be crying if I get to frog for a third time. That would really not be fun at all. Okay, and then we can get to flap the work around. What are we doing then? We are stacking 2 singles. to replace the double. And we will also have to do 2 doubles. Then I am going to check something, but first I'm gonna do this. Let's see. Accept. Because we have some, like this is the action that Lorraine is talking about with the multiple colored yarns here. Alison made chenille. That's actually a nice color. This is a nice color. That could be nice even for like 100 grams to 161 meters. It's not too bad. This could actually work for scrunchies. Well, it's probably not there next time I get to the store. I don't get there very, very often. Multiple colored yarn, t-shirts, acrylics, Sunday, shimmer, crochet yarn, which is like a really thin yarn. More acrylics. I don't get why the kettle is in there. It doesn't look like the one you're talking about is on the Dutch side. Oh, the chenille. Chenille party. All weather yarn. All weather yarn. Well, it does have some by the looks, I guess. Ah, yeah, I get it. It's this sort of bunchy yarn, thicker yarns, polyester yarns. This is definitely a bulky yarn. They recommend 8mm knitting needles for this. So that's a bulky yarn. Yep, I've seen it. It's like a tube type yarn. And then it has something inside the tube. But that will be the yarn. For the curious people. The Moroccan and Mint is a killer with all the puff stitches. I can never get the edge straight. Oh, yes. I don't think I did the Moroccan and Mint yet. I don't recall. But I have the pattern somewhere. Lisa started the shawl she's working on with a Stendy candy cake. Oh, nice. Yeah, two balls of this yarn is going to be a small blanket. A very small one. That will take quite a bit more than that. But you did a good, you had a good price because you have gotten for half price compared to what they're charging for it in the Netherlands. So so I did this one. That was the skips. That's good. Then row 48 is what we're working on. So Save this, and then we need to do the next 21 stitches double crochet. That should be fine. Technically, it should be easy straight ahead. Try matching the size of this shawl if one would upsize the hooks and the yarns used. Holy moly. I'm a little bit scared with that thought, to be honest. Rev started a corner to corner, but he's not sure about it, to be honest. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess it depends on what you want to make. But in the action, you can be sure they will not change the batch color or lot. Well, no, because when it's sold out kinda-ish. I haven't done a lot with the yarns. I do like their medium cotton. That's actually quite good for bags. I made some of those from that yarn in the past. I think that's almost 2 years ago now. I made some really nice like beach bags out of their medium cotton from the action. It should take 3 of the balls to make one. How many whips do you guys currently have? And that is a good question. Technically, I'm actually down to three. I have 3. But 2 of them is kind of paused because, well, last week we agreed that I need to really put in efforts if I want to, by any chance or means, make my goal of finishing the shawl in the coming month. Because we also know how big it is. Let's count. Let's count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21. Perfect. I have the right amount of stitches. I'm doing beaded stripes in the solid colors, but I'm not sure if I like the solid or not. I just need to step away from it for a bit. Sometimes that really fixes things. You know, like see it from a distance or put it away for a week and then look at it again and then you're like, yeah, that's working. Or no, that's definitely not working. That would be my experience. I'll try finger weight for the hard click shawl. Yes, I would recommend. Or if you go to DK weight, I would definitely not make a large. I would make a small because it's going to be huge. Like this is a 2 weight, right? And it takes a long time, but it will become gorgeous. You throw them all out. I never throw out a VIP. Wait, 9. Which means that I'm only having a 1. I am. So far, my stitch count is matching. Hallelujah. Let's hope that it's gonna be the same for the rest of this row, however long that may be. I have never thrown my lips out. I only have one where it's unable to frock it, and I'm not gonna complete it, but I know what I want to use the rest of the yarns for. Like I could attempt frocking it, but it would become a frocking mess. So I've just accepted defeat. Sometimes I guess you need to accept defeat. So that will probably be my first sort of failed project. Okay. My mom sent me a photo of something that my auntie made in Corner to Corner, so I guess I should have a look. The only question is where it was sent. If it was sent to my email or if it's sent to my chat that we have. I will check. Found it. I remember this one. Okay, I'm gonna share with you guys. So my auntie made this a puzzle blanket in Corner to Corner. And I would have zero idea of the pattern, but apparently this is in Corner to Corner. And well, basically she writes here it's finished and now there's only needing to be fin ends. But, you know, it's different colors, Corner to Corner, blanket, made as a puzzle. And I'm just exhausted by the thought of trying to make this. But it is gorgeous. So my auntie made this. I think it's rather crazy. There must be a pattern somewhere. I am sure there's a pattern somewhere. Or she got it from a book. That's also possible. But apparently, corners to corners can be made in puzzles. I think it's gorgeous. And that could definitely be a fun project. Fun future project. But not right now. Lisa's currently on 3 VIPs, but kinda doesn't count because I'm knitting a twin-sized blanket with anniversary cake. It might take me years, and I'm okay with that. Fair enough. Meanwhile, Rev is showing us his corner to corner, so I'll just pop over and show that one. Yeah, the purple is very vibrant compared to the rest. I agree on that one. That's what Lisa's saying, and I have to agree. And maybe white. White could work because it seems to be there's some white in the others, right? Like it's a bit marbled with white or speckled with white. So white could work great, actually, if you want to break it up a bit. Two, four, six, eight, 10. That's my best suggestion, I guess, right now. Rory asking how long I worked on my current projects. 3.5 months or so. And the other one I started a month ago, and then the one I started 3 months ago. No, 2 months ago, 2.5. But they are kind of sidelined because now I want to finish this one. I meanwhile also finished projects. So, my timeline is not a direct indicator of how long it takes to make, because it's not X amount of hours that I've put into it, or I only worked on this because I do have multiple webs. So that can be defined 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. My fleur I worked on for 2 years before it was finished. Jessica says, I think I have the pattern somewhere in my books. Could be, could be. Lauren asks if we do freestyle crochet, read patterns, or tutorials. Well, I've done tutorials for some projects. I've read patterns. I do have books with other patterns as well. I have done some freestyling also. It all depends. How many projects do I finished? Stopped counting. I don't know. Many. Lots of projects. Corner to corner, the colors blend as a blanket grows. Yeah. Lisa, I can relate. Not the amount of years, but I just made a lot of projects. I remember a bunch of my projects, but I don't remember everything. 10. But I can say I actually never made a corner to corner project. Don't ask me why. Just, I guess, haven't fitted it. Susan's made a corner to corner with the Gwen Square yarns in the dark light coloration blend. Okay. Six, 8, 10. I've been crocheting for almost 2 years, and I finished maybe around 30 to 40 projects. Then the question would be for me, like, how do we count scrunchies? Is like multiple scrunchies one project, or is it a project per scrunchie? Yeah, beanies. I had a period. I like did beanies. Had a period. I've only done shawls. I've done a bit of everything. I also have a few amigurumis. Jessica says, I've never done one of those. And Lisa says, I have to admit, I'm kind of jealous of those who can use the granny square and bitty stripes yarns. Well, I can't unless somebody buys it for me, I guess. I don't even know if I can then, but I have no real access to obtain it for a reasonable price. I don't want to know what Amazon would charge for me. Sometimes Amazon has good prices, sometimes they have outrageous prices. I guess I just sort of started ignoring and then accepted that the worlds are different. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Scrunchies, yeah. But when we are talking about scrunchies, would one say it's one scrunchie is one VIP and project, or is scrunchies just a general term for projects? Because I've made multiple scrunchies. Like I've probably made like 60, 70 scrunchies at least per time. And Lisa can't touch the red heart yarns without breaking out an allergic reaction. Oh. One scrunchie is one project, then I've probably made a past 100 projects at least. But I genuinely don't know. I don't keep count on stuff like that. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. True. Thank you. Yep. Well, definitely past 100 different projects. Not sure. I don't think I'm at 200 though. But a lot. Lorraine, she can't touch a specific yarn from Red Heart. The Red Heart Betty Stripes and the Red Heart Granny Stripes, Granny Square Stripes, Granny whatever. She's allergic to a specific yarn brand slash make of that brand, which is sad. Jessica mainly does shawls. Ooh. My, for some reason we are not charging. Should be. It could be. I know why. Give me just one moment. I will need to fix something because it kind of helps me keep track of things, and I may just have switched. Maybe it's the symbol. It is weird. So I have an adapter that has two outlets for charging. And if my one cord is in one of them, it doesn't want to charge. It only wants to charge if it's in the very outer one, and my other cord doesn't care. So I don't know what's up. Jessica doesn't like the feel of the red hearts. Yeah, I've heard some people don't like that feeling, so I guess in that sense I'm not missing out at all. Um, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. At least I can use the other red heart yarns, just not the Super Saver. It's probably something to do with whatever they have used to treat it with. Lauren, Red Heart is a brand. So Action has Alice and May, and Red Heart is a brand. It's a brand of yarn. Lots of people hanging out in here are in either in the Americas or in Canada. Oh my goodness. I saw an ad yesterday, which I think is an old ad because I've seen it before, but I found it a bit hilarious, to be honest. Apparently in Denmark right now, you can in the supermarket purchase a toilet brush that's supposed to imitate a certain president. Make toilets great again. Ah. Now, when we're talking about the Americas, I just came to think of that. That made me laugh a bit. Yep. You can also get them on other places, including Amazon, even. So it's not just in Denmark, but they were back on the ads. I frocked out that purple and put in the corner to corner timeout. Going to make some donation blanket with my scraps from the curl. Just going to do the continuous grannies. It's also the easy one, right? So. Da, da. Yeah. Thanks for the advice on my third row. You're welcome. Six. One more. So with that, my count is 2 for the first time in months. Oh my goodness. You're up to 2. Ooh. I'm sort of catching up. I'm almost at where we started frocking initially, like 2 weeks, a week ago. Hallelujah. Oh, one moment. Hey, Sonas, stop. Apparently, Sonas responded to Hey, Hallelujah. Oh my goodness. It doesn't reply that often to stuff being said, but sometimes it just spontaneously starts to sing, oh, that's what you want to hear. Sure, I'll play that. Ruff claims to be a psychopath. I will care to disagree. You do not seem very psychopathic to me. But you only do one whip at a time mainly. I try not to have like 10 whips going on because that would not work for me. But I do like to have a few going on. So I have for different situations. Here I mean like I need to have something I can easily bring with me on the couch. This project is slowly getting too big for that. Even though it's finally long enough on the rows that I could do it because I don't need to do much change. But then the rest here of this project is fairly big to sit with. So that's a good reason for starting on those bucket hats still, because they are small enough to be an easy couch project. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. The yarn is still laying next to me, so I can still start on them. Lisa was also a one project crafter at a time until very recently as well. Rev say, this is why I will never have one of those robot assistants in my house spying on me. Oh, I think that's valid to say in the case of this Sonos speaker, the commands stay on the machine. It doesn't send them into the cloud like, for example, Alexa or Google Assistant does. And that's the only reason why I'm kind of allowing it. I had a period where what would be really convenient would be for when I was still working and I had very strict and short breaks. I would basically use it and set a timer by just talking to it, so it would automatically set a timer for me. I guess you could do it similar with Siri or something like that, and that worked really well for me to keep. So I would say, like, if I had a 15-minute break, I would say, hey, give me a 13-minute timer, because that would give me 2 minutes to get back on my seat. I'm hoping that we'll find out today or tomorrow if we'll go on our road trip next week. Well, I hope you know soon as well. No, thank you, Jessica. You're number one. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Lauren asks if anyone have a spice for buying hooks. Actually, only sells to 6mm, so I need another spot. And yeah, some of these people don't know stores in Europe because they are on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. Lorraine, I believe, if I remember right, you're in Belgium? That's my like quick reminder, I think. Because it could be that you could be lucky to get the right size hook in either Vibra or Seaman, and then I would say Seaman is the bigger chance. Or Amazon. Amazon, definitely. Amazon is always a winner for many things. Maybe via ball.com. They also have a few things. But yeah, maybe Seaman. It depends on how well stocked your local Seaman is. Seaman is a bit like Dollar Tree store or something like that. You know, you can get a lot of things for cheap. It's a value store. And they also sometimes have some nice yarn. The acrylics is pretty soft, actually. and very, very reasonably priced. It's like DK weight, yarn wise. It's a little bit thicker, I believe, than I don't think it's Aran weight, but I do believe it's thicker than the mandala yarns, just by a little bit. I don't know. I'm not very familiar with Susan Bates hooks. I've heard of them, but I've not popped into them. Or you need to look for Prim. Prim has some decent sized larger hooks too, but they are not the cheapest. I should take a photo of my. You remember I showed you those steel hooks that looks very much like furls, which I say they don't really work with me at all. I should sell them. See if somebody is interested in the Dutch community. Susan Bates are your old school metal hooks with no ergonomics. That's true. I don't prefer your girl Susan, but I'm a taper girl. Jessica loves clover hooks. Well, clover right here, my friend. Soft touch for me. Me and soft touch are really good friends, but they only go to 6mm. Anything bigger, you would need another brand. Then I got a Knit Pro Waves hook. It's 6.5. I still need to test that one out at some stage. No hooks in Seaman at all. Yeah, their physical stores have them though, not on the website. We need to check their physical stores. They don't sell them on the website always. We'll often see stuff in their physical stores which is different than the website. And also I would say Amazon. I don't know, do you do Amazon and Clover and More also comes bigger than 6mm? That's also a possibility. Let's see if we can do. We should be able to do Belgium. Netherlands, I guess would be the English easiest for me. Or maybe I should just do English. Regardless. But Prim has like up to 9mm in a pack, or sorry, 12mm in a pack. So that could be a possibility. So I have the bigger prim hooks for bigger projects, but I don't need to use them that often, so that's fine. But the metal ones I have, I really don't like them. They are too heavy for me. They're too heavy, and the shaft, it's not this shaft, but the actual needle length is for me too long. And that's just not working out with my style of crochet. Yeah, they're not cheap. That's why I said that if you want to see if you can get them cheap, you probably would need to go to the physical stores to check if they have what you want. A few kilos of hooks in a bag. At least that's not hooks to arm whole army. Oh my goodness. Yeah, good hooks cost money. And the same goes for quality yarn, my friend. Lisa says quality tools are worth investing in, and my comment is just quality yarn is the same. Because it does take a lot of our time to make. So therefore, it's fair enough to also want some sort of quality or level of softness or whatever, depending on the project you're making. Rev says I'm a dedicated value yarn user. So there's nothing wrong with value yarn as long as they are good quality, Rev. Rev buys on sale. Agreed. I buy everything I can get on sale as well if possible. With a very few exclusions. I also try to get it on sale. Lauren says, I have to say the one I'm working with from the action is a flop. The grip falls off and the hook itself is too short without grip. Yeah, well, that's a quality thing. I've had some of the cheaper ones with the rubber grips, and they tend to fall off over time or turn around. So I kind of need to glue them on. And then after I change to these, and I rarely use hooks above 6mm in any case, I have not experienced these moving at all. They are solid. The grip is solid on the hook itself. I have finally caught up with all the frocking I ever did because we are back to actually pulling the yarn off the spindle. Ooh. That's also only taking me a week. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Whoa, 75 Canadian for hook. Girl. I did actually get some silicone molds so I could attempt making resin hooks. Rough, do they go above 6 millimeters? Hand carved furls wooden hooks. Yeah, well, they are also prices. So yeah, that makes sense. I believe I had some wooden. Oh, sorry. Some wooden hooks gifted to me. Hand carved, maybe, potentially, but like some really old ones. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, obviously one cancelled gifts, but I'm like, I should sell those metal ones because honestly, they are just not my style. So it's just like about 50 euros laying, not being used. There are multiple hooks in it. I believe it's 8 or 10 hooks in it, but still. They're just laying, not being used. $11 wooden hooks for 11 euro. That's a deal. That is a deal. As long as the wooden hooks are smooth, else it's not a deal. Then it's just a waste of money. 12 bamboo ones for 9 euros. See, options, options. Ref finds this hook part of them too short. I don't think this is very long either, to be honest. Probably 3.5 centimeter. I don't know. Let's check. It's less than 4 because this is 4. It's like, yeah, 3.5. 3.7 centimeters. 3.7 this one is. Let's compare that to, this is a Knit Pro. This is my Knit Pro hook, but it's 6.5. I think that's longer. Looks longer. Definitely is longer. That's above 4. The Knit Pro here is 4.5. Oh, I've messed up my measuring tape. The most special hook I own is one my grandpa made for my grandma out of a really big nail when she couldn't afford to buy a hook. Oh, that's lovely. That's a lovely story. That's a lovely story. The bamboo is traditional Chinese hooks, but they're hooks. Yeah, so no handle, it's just like one love skinny hook. My Clover Moor hooks are 3.5 millimeter shaft. Yeah, Clover Moor was maybe I should consider. But then I'm actually quite happy with my soft touch here. I guess. Da, 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 da. It's 15 centimeters, a little longer than normal. This is definitely not 15. This is a lot shorter. It's probably more like 10. No, 12. 13. So it's a bit longer than this one. Like if you would be living next door, I could borrow you one, but you don't live next door. Or lend you one. You could borrow one here, so to say. Though I did spend my Pentecost in Belgium, in Genk. Not in Ghent, maar in Genk. So all the way in East Flandern. Lisa says my favorite hook has a 4.5 centimeter shaft, but the whole hook is 16.5 with the handle. Well, that's pretty long, actually. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep. Trap question, who's going to be the next king of Belgium? Who knows? Not something I'm keeping track of, to be honest. Okay, I think I'm going to do 4 rounds per color, then alternating white with a deep purple, then white, royal blue. Be a pretty combo. Nice. Definitely possible, yeah. As from some of the other donation yarns you've also had laying, you have lots of scraps, don't you have, Rev? From the last couple of months. It is long, but doing all the puff type stitches, I do need a longer shaft of my hooks. True. Yeah, Rev says, I do not keep track of the European nobility. My people fought a war to not care about them. All the scrap yarn from your cull. It's going to be 40 by 40 inches. Okay. Yeah, because Lisa is in Canada, and Canada is a part of the Commonwealth. 6, 8, 10. And I only keep track of Danish and partially Dutch nobility because I live here, and Danish because, well, I'm Danish. And I don't keep that much track of them, but just a little bit. You can't change the national anthem, then it's not national anthem anymore in my optics. In Denmark, we have two. And we have one used for sports, and then we have a general one. But everybody only knows the one that's related to sports. Professors don't think the British monarchy survives much longer. Neither Charles nor William is very popular, not like Liz. Yeah, well, William is definitely more popular than his dad. And I can understand Lisa's point of view. The monarchy doesn't do anything for her except taking her tax money, which to some extent is correct. And yet not. So I am well aware that the monarchies in Europe, to some extent, they are also political trade aspects. Um, so they do a lot of political stuff, not political, diplomatic stuff for trade, for international trade and stuff. So I don't necessarily think I would be without them. And I know that they have changed a lot over the later years regarding who is allowed to get appanage, which is basically like their quote unquote salary from the government. And a lot fewer of these are allowed to get it. And for example, the Dutch crown princess actually wrote off getting it until she was doing anything directly related to the crown and its duties. So right now she's not getting any, even though that she's supposed to because she's above 18. But she said no, thank you. Like it's God save the insert gentle title here, true. They don't really do much trade stuff for Canada anymore. Yeah, that's a challenge with the former colonies, I guess, colonial countries. I'm sure that the Greenlanders have similar feelings to some extent. Maybe. Or the people on the Faroe Islands when it comes to the Danish. Oh, so it's not a big change then. Lauren is trying to explain how they're going to change the national anthem, and it's basically just going from there is a word basically denominating the gender of the person, and it's just a change from forced to forsten. And that denomination is just changing from a male to a female. So yeah, I don't consider that a big change at all, to be honest. It's just adapting. Lisa said, sounds like Charles may abdicate soon due to dealing with his cancer. Yeah, everything is getting iffy and itchy. The Danish queen also had been hospitalized, I believe. But there is a few generations, and she's not technically active queen anymore. Let's not forget to hydrate. As I said, I'm just on lemonade today because it is warm. I don't think tea would be that beneficial for me. Skip, skip. Anyhow, we are progressing nicely. I've not spotted any mistakes so far. That's positive. I mean, given the amount of stitches I have per row, it's very positive. Lisa says our national anthem doesn't even reference to the monarchy. I don't think the Danish necessarily do either, at least not the sport one, but the general royal one does, because it's named King Christian. Oh no, thank you, Jessica. Thank you. So much appreciated. Definitely not required. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Technically, it's turned into the official Danish Danish national anthem, the one we use for sport. So I wonder what they do with the other one. The other is only used with official ceremony, which includes a king/queen visit, or a visit of the navy, or military sport competitions and other events where members of the royal monarchy will be present. But otherwise, the other one is used more for sports. And that relates to the beauty of the Danish country, that there are oaks and that there are beaches and seas and hills and valleys. And it refers also a little bit to the past related to Northern mythology as well. But yeah, that's kind of the short version of it. Stars and Stripes. Our national anthem is just appearing to set to British tune saying, "Yo, Britain, you can't even take the star fort. Yeah, losers, ignore the burning of Washington, please." Right. The Arrogant Worm songs about the War of 1812. There's plausibly plenty of egos out there. I personally think the Danish one is a beautiful one when you just like know what it means. I'll tell you a fun fact. So obviously we got kit and everything, and on the inside of my jacket, so on the basically on the inside of the coat, you would have the lyrics for the national anthem, so that you could just like open your coat and sing with along if you needed it. Which I thought was actually a very genius idea. Meanwhile, Lauren lost the grip of the crochet hook again. Have you tried consider super gluing it? Maybe that will work for your problem. I super glued one of my grips. That worked. But yeah, that could definitely also be an idea. Just to replace it. But yeah, I've had a grip that I super glued on. It's a 3mm hook laying somewhere down there. I haven't used it for since I got these, basically because I like these so much more. It's pretty worn looking on it. Guess I could find it if I wanted to. For funsies. No, I'm just curious. Despite living in Francis Scott Key hometown for 15 years, I prefer America's Beautiful to the Star-Spangled Banner as a national anthem. For that one is much easier to sing. Yeah, I think that's the same also with, and I do think it sounds nice, the Danish national anthem. It does actually sound pretty nice. But that is a different story. I would. It's a beautiful country is basically the name of the song. And I agree, it is a beautiful country. I am going to see if I can find my set of fixed hooks. So I have this thingy where a bunch of my cheaper hooks is in. And I think, yeah, that's the one. This one. Oh my goodness, it's a bit funky. This one is super glued. And look here on the back side. I'm not sure if it's that visible actually. can look here, you can see how much I've pressed on it. So it's kind of worn out here on the back side. Of course, that's my finger who's been there. But it's a little bit like, yeah. So it still turns a bit on the back side. It's the 3.5 millimeter. But I glued this tip into, so it's super glued on, so it's not moving. Here, the bottom part is, but that's because there's no super glue on this bottom part. But up here I super glued it. And as I said, some of the rubber has just basically been worn out. But I like my soft touch a lot better. But these also goes to pretty high, I think 6.5 millimeter. Yeah, because this is like, this is a 9 millimeter. With a grip on. But these grips will over time, this one is quite snug, but it can over time like get loose. I basically just pulled out the hook, added super glue, pulled back the hook, and that's how I did the other one. But I don't use these hooks very much at all because I prefer the others. These are hooks that I could potentially add if I would bring them with me on a flight, and I would be afraid that they would pick away or take out my hooks from my kit if they would confiscate them at the security, because I would be less sad losing them, if that makes sense. But last time I just took my Clover with, and that was not a problem at all. Let's see, we're going that direction. Lisa says, I think I have the same hooks. I got them from Team. Oh, that's possible, Lisa. I think I might have bought mine for like really cheap. And I wouldn't be surprised if they had gotten from Temu. That was before I was familiar with Temu. How my project looks as a whole. That looks pretty much like a heart with some flares. It's a bit difficult to show here on this camera view. But I have shown it a few times, including some of my yarn talk videos. Let's see, I am working that direction. So basically I have a heart on the top. I work back and forth, back and forth. We have some front post, back posts to create this sort of pattern, changing pattern in it. And then it basically just, you know, if you'd hold it up, it would kind of flare out. But getting it up and show it as a whole right now would be really, really impractical for me. Of course, now I'm already searching where I was working just before here, because it is rather big. So I tend to do it at the end of the streams, like, yeah, we are. There's a lot of stitches. There's about 1,400 stitches in the round right now, increasing ever so pastely. And as I said, it was supposed not to make a stitch there, so now I'm making extra stitches. Let's not do that. We are supposed to skip stitches here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Good. I'm trying to definitely not frock more than needed. That's it. It is a lot of stitches that we are working on right now. It's what I classify as crazy. But I definitely need to start on a new shawl after I've done this. We definitely have to get another shawl going. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I still have the other shawl I'm working on, which I haven't kind of like got stuck at. Oh, let's not forget. But right now we are probably going to have a June where we are going to work a lot on the heart collectors, because 8, 10. This is definitely a shawl I need to get done, and I want to get done. And it goes so much easier when I can spend a couple of hours working on this in the afternoon with you guys. So hallelujah for that. This says, by the way, the road trip we may be going on next week will be for another work contract if we can get through the negotiations this week. Ah. Well, I wish you guys all the best for sure. Lorraine doesn't count if it's more than 10 stitches. Well, for some projects, counting is a necessity. Just saying. Doesn't make me happy to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. This one is just checking that I did everything I'm supposed to. So that I didn't miss any stitches. Or for that matter, that I didn't do too many. On each side of the tip, I need to have 9 double crochets, and they are worked either into the stitch or into the chain gap. So I always count if they are right, because I hope this helps me to prevent frocking later on. 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Rose says, depending on the pattern, most of the time I don't need to count, but on some projects I will count hundreds of stitches. So I don't need to frock thousands exactly. That makes perfect sense. And I can relate. So that's kind of why I count 10 at a time here, to prevent not having to frock thousands. I mean, it's worth the effort. At the beginning of this year, we didn't have any work, didn't know if we would get any, and if we get this contract, we'll have to work for the 2 years at unbelievable rates in our favor. That's wonderful news. Definitely good luck. If I notice a mistake in like Roseback, I just frock the whole thing and make something different. Well, that's an option too. It's very rarely I make something different. I am likely to just frock back and fix, because usually I normally don't get to frock a lot. You know, now I had this past week where it's been bad, but then it could take a month before I may need to do it again. But it could also happen next week or tomorrow. I'm trying to prevent not having to. That is why I'm counting. Because frocking is often quicker than actual work, and thousands of stitches are a lot of work. I mean, right now to complete a row is gonna be a couple of hours for me. So by not counting, I risk having to frock like 2 or 3 hours of work. I don't want to do that. 2, 4, 6, 10. It's just not an option. I normally don't frock a lot either, but it's this past I've been frocking a ton. It's extremely frustrating. Yes, because it takes time. And you feel you wasted the time. I'm trying to tell myself I get to enjoy the yarn twice or thrice, but it's not enjoying. It's not enjoyable at all. You know. I am straight with you there. Zero pleasure. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Nice. I'd finished a sock for my son. He tried it on. I hadn't made the heel deep enough, so I had to frock it back the whole foot. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not cool at all. Measure it. Lisa, measure it. The foot of his. I check every row of mistakes before I go on, but mostly, yes, sometimes I don't. Then I'm like, it's a sign that I have to make something different. Maybe. Meanwhile, Revenant is trying a new kind of Greek yogurt, and it's supposed to be strawberries and cream, but there is no fruit. Not sure if there's going to be, or if or I won't be getting this again. Sometimes here in Europe they do those Greek yogurts with fruit, but the fruit is all the way in the bottom of the tray or the can or the container. So I don't know. Did you try to put the label all the way in the bottom and see if there's actually fruit down there, like of some kind, fruit or fruit sauce, jam type stuff? That's my best suggestion. I have it now, but it's the son that doesn't live with me, so I couldn't get him to try it on. Made it based on past sock I made, but this pattern works up differently. Gotcha. Rose says I was expecting it to be fruit on the bottom. I stirred it up and there was nothing. Oh, that's a disappointment. I was supposed to just get a few groceries last night because I was like, it's too warm. I don't want to get out. And then when I was in the store, I saw all the things that was sale 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I was like, yeah, well, you know, they had schnitzels on sale and they had that meat on sale and so on. So I was like, I picked up some of it. Some of it was like 50% discounted. Like buy one, get an extra pack for free kind of discount. So I ended up buying a few things to bring home because I thought that was a great idea. Still do think it was a great idea. Meanwhile, I saw the smallest sliver of fruit in the yogurt, so I guess it's just how it is. Oh, that's still disappointing. Lisa likes yogurt with fruit and not fruit in yogurt, so more fruit than yogurt. Makes sense as well. Sometimes I think it's nice if you have like a natural yogurt and then just sprinkle on blueberries. Oh, that's yummy. 6, 8, 10. That's yummy. I'm all in the mood now, but I don't have any yogurt in the house. Well, it was only a 4-pack of 100-calorie Greek yogurt, so it's not a huge, huge deal. It's a very first world problem. Yeah, we have many of those first world problems, don't we? If the yogurt is not having the expected fruit is my biggest problem today, I will count the day as a win. I mean, that sounds like a very, very trivial issue. Like, I'm in for that. I started working today, and apparently they had changed something to the VPN, so I couldn't get online, which means that I could only do some basic work tasks and not what I was supposed to do for the first, like, 3 hours of today's job. Also, the reason I got a bit late, because I had to catch up on the stuff I couldn't do when they had deployed the fix. Ah, wonderful when that happens. I'm like, hey, I would like to work, but I can't work. 2, 4, 8, 10. Lisa says my first world catastrophe lately is milk from Walmart doesn't froth in my espresso machine. Well, Lisa, that's interesting because so my partner has like a creamer machine for milk, just regular milk. You can put it in it and like cream it up for cappuccino. And depending on what store I buy the milk from, it's not able to do it either. So some stores, no problems, and other stores will have the issue. So I wonder if it's a way how they treat the milk. So maybe they changed some procedure. I mean, if it used to froth and now it doesn't do it anymore, I think might have treated a procedure in how the milk is treated at the dairy. I mean, we have 3 or 4 different stores here in the surroundings, and one of them, their fresh milk won't froth, but everybody else fresh milk will. So yeah, I do not know either. It could also be a brand. I don't know if you're able to buy different brands of milk. Because I mean, if I would think you could at Walmart, but I haven't been to Walmart in like years. But I believe, like, let's say they have 2 brands of milk, try the other brand. Lauren says, small question, does Aldi exist in your country? It exists here in the Netherlands, and their milk won't froth. That's the thing. That's the Aldi milk that won't froth. I can tell you that, at least here in the Netherlands. But the milk from the Lidl and the Albert Heijn and the Jumbo, all froth, no problem. It's still high temp pasteurizing, then rapid cooling to almost freezing. Could be. I know Aldi in Canada. It's different brands. Walmart only cares one brand. Yeah, okay. That's weird then. Lorraine enjoys the dried mango from the Aldi. It's new. They have similar also in the Lidl. I am not a fan. We have in Waco they have an Aldi. Wow. But you didn't get a thing. There are some groceries I will get from them. Like they have a really nice orange soft drink, bit like Fanta, but not Fanta, in a light version, which we drink here. I'd rather eat it fresh, Lorraine, the mangoes. 10. I started shopping at different grocery store. It's called a local co-op grocery store. We have co-ops here too. At least not as much here in the Netherlands, but definitely in Denmark. I'm also annoyed with their cart rental thing. It just goes to show how British are not civilized as they fail the shopping cart test. Ah, you mean that you have to put a coin in to use the card and then you get it back when you deliver the card back? And Aldi isn't British, by the way, it's German. No, it's a pocket of dried mango. I put it in the fridge and then it's better. Okay. I prefer my fruit fresh in general. Do, 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 do. Well, given Germany's history, we can we can side-eye them as well. Yeah. But a lot of them today has nothing to do with what happened back then. I shopped at Aldi when I was in Spain. I wasn't impressed, to be honest. Aldi is a very much a value store in the sense of um, it's cheap, doesn't run a lot of A brands and so on. But there are a few things I will get in the Aldi, but they far from have everything I need. So I'll go to the Aldi maybe once every 3-ish or so weeks. Six, 10. Ooh, we are getting closer to the bottom of this. Lorraine agrees that it's not that impressive, and yeah, well, I wouldn't call it impressive. They have a few nice things once in a while, but generally, it depends. Lisa was actually looking for the sock yarn kits that Aldi is supposed to have. I didn't find any yarn at all, though. Lisa, when Aldi carries yarn, it is only when they have their like yarn whatever sale. So like it generally needs to be advertised, and it's not that often. Like I think it's once or twice a year at best. And it could also already have been sold out. So even if it isn't that week you're there, if it's sold out, they won't refill or something like that. They will just get a few packs and that's it. I mean, it's not like a world breaking thing. And it very much depends on the region you're at as well. I want a jumbo in Belgium. Well, I thought you had one, but I guess you don't. I have a jumbo in the city here where I live, but I very rarely go there. I would quickly go to either Lidl or Albert Heijn. Lidl is another German store which is similar to Aldi, though I think ours is quite nicely organized in general. So I guess that's the thing. Both Lidl and Aldi will have some of those center aisles where they have a bunch of weird offers, all sorts of various things, and that's usually like seasonal offers. And then they have the grocery, so they have like this sort of tiny marketplace with all random stuff in there too. And if you're not used to that, that can definitely make the store a bit confusing, and that would also be where you would need to look for the yarn. But I mean, last time I saw my local one had yarns, it had like 3 or 4 packs of yarn, and not exactly yarns where I was being like, oh, I really need to get this for my stash. So, you know, that makes it rather easy to walk past it and not buy it. Susan would be proud of me. 4, 6, 8, 10. I do not spend a lot on groceries, as I tend to make most things from ingredients, avoid most pre-packed food. This last week, a bill for the week was 84. We budget 160 a week for groceries, and very rarely we go that close to it. Mine are probably a bit more expensive this week, but that was because I bought like lots of meat because it was on sale. But then I also have meat for the next maybe couple of whatever until it gets up. But you know, definitely more than a week. But I don't think we exceed 100 euros either a week for our food. Depends on what we chose to eat, but generally we are pretty frugal when it comes to groceries, especially. So here in the Netherlands, we have this program. It's also in Denmark, but it has a different name, where people like sign up to get financial help because they cannot make ends meet. Like they have too little money, which usually is because they spend too much on random shit they don't need. Or they have taken credit card loans, or they have done that, or and so forth, right? But the bottom line is that when I then hear what they're using a month on groceries, then I'm like, okay, but that's then because you only buy Coca-Cola and you only drink soft drinks or beer or drink beer or whatever. You never drink water. I also made most things from scratch. I still need ingredients, but I feed a 15-year-old that decides, you know what, is full or stops eating. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but he's also a long guy, right? So he grows. He's still growing. When the last kid moved out, our weekly bill was cut in half. Apparently, we are expensive. So I'll tell you a bit of a fun story. Um, I never missed anything at my parents' place when I lived at home. Everything was fine. I never got the most expensive clothes or anything like that. We're just like, it's usable, it's fine. Um, Not necessarily the cheapest either, but they were watched. If things could be mended, you would mend it, and so forth. And I definitely had lots of love. But my parents didn't have a lot of fancy modern things. It's like a microwave. They first bought a microwave later, and also like 3 months after I moved out, they had gotten a new car and stuff like that. And I remember asking them, "Oh, how come you can get all these things now?" And then the answer was very dry. It was like, "Yeah, honey, you moved out." And I was a bit like, "What?" And then my parents basically claimed me that I had cost them hundreds of dollars a month just in fuel costs because they were driving me around to all the competitions I wanted to compete at. And then, well, story's the rest, right? So I was a very expensive child at home. I probably still am an expensive daughter, but I'm sure they feel it less because I make my own money and I live far away. So now I'm only expensive when I'm on visit. Laurie, not the Futzelbank. It's a TV show like Double Upside Kantje of something similar finance programs where people are broke and need help to sort their finances. Has nothing to do with Futzelbank. I made burgers the other day. They were third of a pound patties, and the kid ate four. My goodness. I also save a lot of money by buying meat and pantry staples in bulk when they are on sale. So I have 20 kilos of rice in my storage room, and a chest freezer full of meat. Yeah, I also do discount purchasing. Like, I think it was a 3 kilo bag of 3 kilos or 4 kilos of rice I got last time. Yep, I can relate to that. And when I buy the meat packages, I buy the biggest pack they have, and I've just freeze down what I don't use. I divide them into the portions we need already in advance. We also have like a Costco-ish type of card, and their chicken is a lot cheaper than the chicken at our local supermarket. So when I go there, we always get a tray or two of chicken, and then I just make sure that it's divided into smaller bags before we put it into the freezer. It's 182. I think it's just about thinking clever because if you only cook for 1 or 2 people, it's very expensive. But cooking for 4 is cheaper. But cooking for 4 when you're just 2 is a lot of leftovers. But you can also not cook for 4, but just make sure you get the meats for 4 and so on, because the larger packs of meat are cheaper when you buy them. Like if I get a kilo of minced meat, it would be a lot cheaper than just getting half a kilo. Buy 2, so to say, 2 packs of half a kilo. And I also sometimes look and check because sometimes they have that on sale because it's the last day that they're allowed to sell it. And I would buy it and I would put it into the freezer because the meat is still good. It's just not, they're just not allowed to sell it any longer or have it laying any longer. And then often you can get like a 30% discount on the purchase as well. I almost never have freezer burnt food. Oh. But the inflation on groceries in Canada is insane. Last year we bought beef at 4.5 per pound. Now it's 7. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's the same here, by the way. Our meat has gotten insanely expensive. So for a kilo of minced meat, a pound is like half a kilo, I think, right? So yeah, we would pay like somewhere between 11 and 12 euros for a kilo of minced meat. Not lean, just like regular minced beef. So that would net you probably in dollars 12 to 13 towards $13 per kilo. 4, 6, 8, 10. Orange haired mop with the orange haired toilet brush. Make toilets great again. Yep. Yeah, he needs to fix the shit he started. It would be great if we would start fixing that war in Iran. Like, that's a fucking mess. But I still feel guilty even though I did everything I could not to have that tin pot dictator elected. Yeah, well, the problem was everybody else sitting on the couches not voting Rev, who didn't want him either, I guess. Or the people just didn't want the alternative. Like, they didn't want any of them, and they took what they considered the lesser of the two evils, even though that, in hindsight, I'm sure that they are regretting their choices now. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Sweet. We are definitely getting closer here. Oh, I am sorry about the yawn. So, what's people up for dinner now when we are talking about food? I have some bami. Bami is like a type of pasta with veggies. And that is going to go with satay sauce, which is like a peanut butter sauce, and some chicken minced meatballs, and a fried egg on top. What are you guys having? 8, 10. Dinner's meatloaf, rice and peas. Nice. That doesn't sound too bad at all, Lisa. I've left our barbecue pork butts with some coleslaw and sun chips, a slightly healthier corn chip that is baked instead of fried. Ooh, that sounds good too. I get all hungry now. But fair enough, dinner is an hour, so. Agreed, Lisa. I think Rev's dinner sounds very delicious. So I suggest that we go to Vaco to visit, just for the barbecue. We'll have to change cake soon also. Well, soon. We won't reach it on this stream. Because I also know how long it takes. 6, 8, 10. But we're slowly changing colors here. Let's see if I can actually show it. Because this... Yeah, so this is the new color. It's lighter up here than it is down here, but it is a little bit difficult to see. But you can just see it. Like here it's lighter than it is here, right? Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. I made a massive pork butt, seasoned and added barbecue sauce after shredding the meat. Then I put half of it into a vacuum bag and froze it after putting a date on it. The rest we have been eating on since Monday. The cheddar chips are the ones we got, as those are my wife's favorites. French onions too, but she does not like them. Okay. Well, oh my goodness, sounds good. Oh, and I smoked brisket. So, okay, I'll first have to fly to Rev's place, and then I will have to go north afterwards to visit Lisa. By the sound of this. That would make sense. I have to say, I have the feeling that, so I have been flying a lot, just not as much lately. That's positive because that means that my mom generally is doing better, but I still need to start look into planning my autumn trip. And I probably shouldn't wait too long if I wanted to get a decent price for it, for the travel, that is. But I mean, it's yeah, how can I say this? It's the company I fly with, obviously, for my frequent flyer status, I do get advertisements from them, and they are being very keen to inform me that I can fly to Toronto for like 550 euros for a return ticket. And I'm like, how can I do that? That's so cheap. It's finally hot weather here, barbecue weather. Ooh. Conditions are sunny with a temperature of 74 degrees Fahrenheit or about 23 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from east at 10 miles per hour and humidity is 34. Nice. Meanwhile, I think it got a little bit warmer here, but I mean, we are going back into the begin 30s slash 90s on Friday. So I'll be short sleeved here on Friday, I think, because oh my goodness, if that's gonna be that warm, then I will be melding. Officially melding. And I do not want to melt. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're almost at the tip. This is like the tip, the bottom of the shawl. Oh, you kind of have a feeling on how long this takes. It's long, long process. I mean, oh golly. I'll be in the 30s/90s here all week as well. Oh my goodness. Partly cloudy with a temperature of 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind is blowing from west-southwest at 8 miles per hour. Humidity is 79. Yeah, good question. What's up with it being warmer in Winkler than in Waco? I have no idea. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. I mean, here it's 25 maybe? Oh, 24. Here it is partly cloudy with a temperature of 76 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 24 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from north-northeast at 8 miles per hour, and the current is 37. It has been sunny the past few days. It is still sort of semi-sunny outside. But Friday we will get thunderstorms. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, we can at least. I'm not sure if we can reach completely the tip, but we are trying. As I said, I am not gonna push myself extra to reach things because evidently that is making me make stupid mistakes. This is basically Rev can keep his humidity, and Rev is more than happy to trade pollen. And no, I don't want that too. Is grass pollen or other types of pollen that you suffer from there? Tree pollen at the moment. Oh, that's not nice. Nope. Ten. Following up easy. Welcome back, Susan. Nope, I did not purchase any yarns. I've always been tempted, but actually we didn't even well, we did look at yarn, but I didn't buy any. And I also explained that I didn't buy any in the last many times that were in the specific store we talked about. So I have been good girl. My yard is surrounded by poplars. Ah. Okay, now I just need to see how they do the 1-1. Yeah, okay, that should be easy. So we do 11, 13, 11, and then we're back to doing regular stuff. I'm waiting on Hirschners to actually ship my yarn. Oh, patience. Well, I bought no yarn. in anyone's absence. But we did go through yarns yesterday. No, not yesterday. The day before. Well, in my sort my stash video, we went through some more special yarns. Some really nice ones in between. I should have 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. I do. Awesome. It works. Meanwhile, Rowan says, oh, Lisa, did you see Mary Maxim change their shipping? Now you can get free shipping to Canada for purchases over $1.99. Ooh. Finally, taxes enough Americans to peeve that a Canadian company that we can get free shipping. Ah, yeah. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 matches. I might actually purchase something from them now that they have flat rate shipping. Well, flat rate or free, like, or tiered. I mean, I get that desire. Not like right now or anything, but if they have a sale. Well, Platter does give me free shipping if I want to spend 200 euros on yarn, and I don't. Or it's 199, but still, I don't think that €1 is making the difference. But I mean, that, my friends, is a lot of yarn. Which I do not need to get right now at all. So to me, it may stay happy as it is. They were wanting $20 in shipping on anything before, and that can get right in the sea. Yeah. When it's too expensive, I don't want to pay it either. That's just a flat decision from me, so to say. I have too many options that do free shipping to bother with Mary Maxim before. I have also a few free shipping options, definitely. which I am likely going to be using first. One of them even offer like a point system, so every time you've spent for a certain amount of point, like you have earned a certain amount of points, you can actually get a 10 euro discount on your next purchase. That's pretty nice. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. That should be the same, but I keep skipping a number. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Matches. Okay, so I am going to do this last tip, which is the other side of the bottom tip. And then depending on what time is when I've done that, I may do those 3 small ones or not. The purple yarn she has is very tempting. I think that ref is a purple guy. I don't mind paying a bit of shipping as I live in the yarn desert, but I'm not paying 20 when I'm ordering a big order and only one province over. No. I guess that's also why, like, when I've been ordering yarns and I'm like, okay, I'd like to get this, I can get this, but if I do get this, then it will cost me this because obviously I need to ensure the free shipping. I mean, if I need just to buy a couple of skates more to get free shipping, I will. I'm fickle and was very annoyed at the Mary Maxim's website the first time when I went, so now I almost never look there. Okay, but there are certain web store or stores, US stores, where I can't even access their website because I'm geo-blocked because I'm not having an American IP address. Closest Michael's is over an hour away. My Walmart selection is garbage, and my local yarn store doesn't know how to be a local yarn store, else she sells the same thing as Walmart for almost twice as much. Ooh, yeah, well, that's not a good way of doing business. Sounds like she goes to Michael's or to Walmart and just has this like buys in and increase her margin and that's it. But you know, yeah, I can do those 3. Then we are done for this stream. Because these are quick, right? 2 double crochets, chain 2 double crochets in each of these chain 2 spaces. And there's just 1 left. So 6 more stitches here. Mm-hmm. 1, 2. And technically we will be starting over here So we just did a stitch or two. Should be easy. Only missing the other side. That is a possibility. That is a possible couch project, but I would preferably need to change color first, which we are very close to. It's not that far. I have 3 Walmarts in my city, 2 which have decent yarn selections. We also have a Hobby Lobby, that company, but that company can get in the sea as well. My Walmart barely has more than the end cap. An end cap, but that's 90% of what's is blanket and chenille yarn. Oh yay. Yeah, that's not impressive either, is it? That's not impressive either. Not really, I would say. Okay, so well, we kind of started working the other way, so I need to put this over here. But we are just gonna have a quick show of the shawl. I am just gonna move back, but it's not like it's a big difference because we just did like half a row, right? We fixed what was still missing, and then we added a half row. So it's not a big difference compared to what you've been used to seeing. But that's a problem right now. It's so big, it takes such a long time for me to remotely do around. But it's still gorgeous. Guys, it's 5 minutes past 5. Or actually, it's 4 minutes past 5, almost 5 minutes past 5. I really need to get going and get dinner prepped for today. I am so appreciative that you hanged out with me all of this live. Love you all. And I will be back on Friday around the same time as today. So about 2 p.m. Central European time. So 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, etc. It was a very enjoyable stream. We definitely made great progress. It just takes a while, so I need to remind myself we made good progress, even though it feels like it took. And we did nothing, but we did. We did. Patience is a virtue in this case. So yeah, thank you for hanging out. Take care and happy crafting. And I will see you on Friday or in another live or whichever. And yeah, stay stitchy, stay crafting, happy crafting, and love you all. Bye.